more interest than what you have just seen. A point won and lost by the chair umpire, depending on whose side. And again, I just want to say to you that in that tiebreak, as remarkable as it is, and as many matches have you seen, this is how you were said, and I'm looking at you.
It was 2-1.
Yes.
And it was a fault, and the umpire called 2-all, but it wasn't. Venus wins that point, and it goes to 3-1, and all of a sudden the umpire calls 3-2, and both players are like, what happened? But they don't really argue. So I guess the players' defense, they're so focused, and they trust the chair umpire. They said, okay, we must have made a mistake.
Mary Jo, that's one thing, and obviously this is going to be talked about in great depth in the papers tomorrow, as you know, here in England. But have we seen the birth of a true champion here in Karolina Sprem today?
Well, we said before the match, this girl can play, and she proved it from the very first game. She came out swinging, no pressure, fearless. She took it to Venus Williams. She matched her pace. She moved incredibly well. She served well. Venus actually did not play that badly.
Exactly.
She was not able to hit winners off the ground. I think she could have forced herself a little bit more by coming to net. She tried to do it at the end, and she had set points in the first and in the second set, so it could have been Venus's match.
I wonder if it's ever happened before, and just so you know, everyone, we are going to sort this whole thing out. We're going to replay this whole thing, and please stay right there because you've got a lot coming up, Martina Navratilova, obviously, but we'll sort this out, and we're going to show it to you all over again so that you can make up your own mind just about how startling this has been here. This is the center court at Wimbledon, number 3 seed in action, beaten by 19-year-old Croatian Karolina Sprem. Our coverage of Wimbledon continues.
Take you to the press conference for Venus Williams after the controversy, beaten in the second round by Karolina Sprem in a tiebreak that should have been 7 points to 6. Here's Venus.
I just think she played really well. She deserved the win.
You had 3 set points in the second set, 2 set points in the first set. Is that painful?
Oh, it's not a whole barrel of laughs, but I've had some great results this tournament, since 2000, and obviously I would have loved to have done better, but this is impossible to be winner or finalist every year, and she played some good tennis.
Are you aware of the situation on the point in the seconds in the tiebreaker? She served, fault was called. The umpire then gave her a point, and yet she served from the same court. And you both sort of stood around, and then nothing happened.
Yeah.
It should have been 2-1 yours, and it was 2-2.
It was very confusing, yes.
Did you think about going to the umpire or saying something? You both kind of looked a little confused, but no one said anything. Why didn't you question it?
Because sometimes I do lose track of the score, and I just felt that maybe I had lost track again.
Is it a question, Venus, that in the intensity of battle you're so focused on what you're immediately doing, that kind of thing just doesn't enter your head?
Right, I don't question a lot of calls. I just play and do my best at that point, and really that's what I did at that point also.
Did that nag you throughout the tiebreaker, Venus? Did you think something was wrong, and did that affect the way you approached the rest of the tiebreaker?
No.
So are you not left with the impression that it made a difference?
Well, I'd like to think that 1 point doesn't make a difference, but obviously it was a wrong call, yes.
You played Karolina before. You won in 3 sets. What did she do differently today?
I think she played just the same as she played the last time. The last time I was able to make a few more shots, and the bounce is very different on this court. But, I think that's what she does, is come out against me, and I guess she feels like she has nothing to lose, so she just plays her best.
Playing on grass, did the surface help her? Or?
I think the ball just stayed really low, so I was always hitting from, it seemed, under the net instead of up higher.
Did you sort of, when you saw it, did you see her play in the second round? Were you aware right then it was going to be a tough match considering what it was like in Berlin?
Oh, I was ready to play. That's all.
It has been suggested that you are not really focused these days because of outside interest. What do you say to that?
I work hard at everything I do.
So the outside interest does not come in, have any effect on your play, your practice?
You know, I play tennis, but also I'm a normal person, so I do my best at everything.
Venus, does this make you think at all that it's time to change your tactics to come into the net more, serve and volley here? A lot of people seem to think if you do that, you'd be unbeatable on grass.
Could be, but I mean, it's so easy from the stands. Really it is.
What are you going to do tonight, Venus?
Haven't thought about it yet.
Well, the folks in the press room have moved on to other topics, incredibly. She's obvious disappointment, but amazing composure. Venus Williams says sometimes in tiebreak she does lose track of the score, but when told afterward that her opponent basically won a tiebreak 7-6, not 8-6, Venus handling it with incredible class. I mean, I don't know how many of us could sit there and be told we lost a match at Wimbledon because of a incorrect score from a chair umpire in the middle of a tiebreak, but that's how Venus handled it. This story will not go away. To be continued, and we'll continue to cover Richard Williams for his reaction.
All right, here with Richard Williams. Richard, I mean, can you believe what happened in that tiebreak?
Yes, it was actually a human mistake, sir, and that can happen to anyone. And I really do not believe that 1 point decided the match under no circumstances. I think if Venus had been a lot more consistent, we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Did you go in and try to talk to Alan Mills, the tournament referee?
Yes, I did. He wasn't in. I did speak to his assistant. I had a nice little talk. And
what were you hoping to say to him?
I was hoping to say to him that I really think that the chair umpire, I believe he did a great job. And I hope that guy doesn't have sleepless nights. I hope he doesn't question himself or doubt himself. And I hope that the referees, when they meet and talk with him, that they be very kind to him. It was a human mistake, and we all are subject to mistakes.
Is it amazing that this would happen in a tie-break on center court at Wimbledon?
Well, under pressure, anything can happen.
That's true. You're right about that. Yeah.
So I would love to speak to the guy and just say, I think you did a great job, and I really do think you did.
That's very good of you to say that, and just talk about, in general, now Venus and where she is. I mean, she's been in 4 Wimbledon finals in a row, and now she loses in the second round. I mean, where does she go now to get herself back to where she was?
I think that Venus will come back kicking behind and feeling very good at the U.S. Open, and I think it'll help her to realize that she can have to do a few more things, and she will do. And Venus is a great player, and she's a terrific listener. That's what makes her successful.
Well, we certainly learned from you, and by judging from your response to what happened, I can see why. So thank you for talking to us, Richard.
That's always a privilege, sir.
Thanks.
And 97 Wimbledon champ Martina Hingis joins us. Richard Williams is known for his flamboyant, controversial statements, but he is unbelievably gracious. He said that Ted Watts did a great job as chair umpire. He made one of the all-time blunders in the history of organized tennis and miscalling the score in a tiebreak. But Richard Williams, not bitter, saying that Martina, and you were in the stands watching this match, kind of trying to figure out what was going on, saying 1 point didn't matter. Your reaction in this tiebreak?
It was just stunning, and they're both very polite about it. But I don't think, just when everything started to turn around for Venus, that thing happened, and she tends to lose track of the scores, but not at that point.
Yeah, she did say in her press conference that she wasn't rock solid about the score because often you'll see her go to the wrong side of the court to receive. She's not always sure of the game score. We're going to show you one more time what happened. You can see behind her, though, right there, 2-1, Williams in the tiebreak, 2 points to 1, and Sprem is serving. Listen carefully to Ted Watts, what he says after this serve, because right here is where the whole mess starts. He says 2-all. That ball was clearly called wide and a fault. Sprem whacked it into the open. Yeah, right here. Listen, now listen. 3-2 Miss Williams. 3-2 Miss Williams. It should have been 3-1. He had given Sprem a point on the point that was played after the fault.
It was a missed serve, and he gives her the point for winning the...
Are you as confused as Venus was out there? You said some of the ball kids were confused about who needed to get the balls to serve, what end of the court they need to be in?
Yeah, nobody. Everyone was